If you follow these rules, I guarantee that you're gonna minimize risks buying at salvage auto auctions. Right here, 4 simple rules, but so many people have no idea that they exist. So we're gonna check the seller, we're gonna check documents, we're gonna check location, and we're gonna check damages. So if you're ready, let's start with rule number 1. We're gonna talk sellers. And actually, when you go to Copart.com or you go to insurance auto auction, there is no way to figure out who sells the car. That's why so many people assume that every car at Copart or insurance auto auctions belong to insurance company. That's not the case. Same with insurance auto auction. You see, there is Ford Police Interceptor, very cool car, but again, no way to find out who sells it. Just nothing. And here's huge advantage of Cars Forbid. And that's why I'm so passionate about my project, because if you if you search for cars, even on a search page, you're gonna see who is the seller. You can identify who the seller is. And let's talk about actually which sellers are good and which sellers are bad. So rule number 1, we buy only from sellers highlighted in green. Like this example, 2014 Ford Fusion. You see the seller is insurance company, Progressive. That's good. There's another green highlight, financial companies, Title Max. Sometimes car can be repossessed, and that's why Title Max owned the car. But it's good. You see, it's highlighted in green. This one is also good. We also buy from sellers like Fleet and Lease. There is a big fleet rental park, and they just sell it. Okay, that's good. But we avoid, by all means, cars that belong to dealers. And you see, right here, seller is a dealer. We also avoid at all cost cars that belong to not insurance. And at the same time, we avoid at all cost public consignment. If you see public consignment, you avoid. So recap, dealers, not insurance, and public consignment, you avoid at all cost. Insurance company, financial companies, fleet, lease, and any other companies highlighted in green, it's good to go. So the question I hear most often, why do I need to avoid cars from dealers, from not insurance, or public consignment? I guarantee if you buy one of these cars, you're gonna have one of these issues. You could get issue with engine, transmission, or suspension. It might have frame damage. 90% of all these cars are going to have a missing catalytic converter, and that can be pretty expensive. Some cars you buy might have stolen expensive parts. Like dealer, he has the car, he can take expensive parts, he can sell it at eBay and then sell the car, and you think, oh, everything is good. No. There is something wrong with the car. You know, there is a saying between car dealers. Not every car is bad at auto auction, but every bad car goes to auto auction. Let it sink. Not every car is bad at auction, and there are lots of great cars. Theft recoveries, repossessed cars that belong to financial companies, insurance company, they have no intent to scam you. But every bad car goes to salvage auction. So if public, like some private party has a car with a dead engine or bad transmission, it's impossible to sell them at Facebook because somebody gonna come test drive and they're gonna hear it or they're gonna see the issues. They choose to sell it Copart, or they choose to sell it at insurance or auction because Copart takes public consignment, okay? And then you cannot see the car in person, and then you think, oh, it's run and drive, meaning it drives 3 feet backwards, 3 feet front, and it's good for Copart as run and drive. It doesn't mean you're gonna take this car on a highway. Every car sold at Copart and insurance auto auctions sold as is, where is, with no warranty. Dealers, not insurance, which are dealers mostly, and public consignment, they know about these rules, and that's why they sell their cars right there. And I highly recommend checking Cars for Beat blog 6-step to buy salvage cars at Copart and insurance or auctions. It's just 5 minutes long, and it's gonna explain you in details what I explain you in this video and actually more. And also, dealers, they sell stage cars. And what is a stage car? I try to explain it in very simple language. When, for example, you want to sell your house or your apartment, you don't want to sell it empty, right? I mean, empty photos won't sell. So that's why you call for a staging company that's going to bring some furniture, some flowers, some paintings, and it's going to look nice. So there are companies that stage apartments for resale purpose, and there are some dealers actually buy cars to stage them as a nice looking cars, like this 2021 Ford F-150 Raptor that was sold for $41,000, and whoever got it initially thought that was a great deal. Wow, I got this car at 43% of retail value. Look at this beauty. But the thing is, this car is staged. It means it cosmetically fixed, but in real case, that's the same car that was before. It's exactly the same car. And you're like, there is no way it's the same car. But guys, it's the same. VIN is matched on both vehicle. This is before, this is after. This is before, this is after. Anything this car has acceptable repairs? No, it just staged. Looks good on photos, but when you see the car in person, first of all, lots of issues with the car, frame damage, lots of, I'm not gonna even start, but you got the idea, right? Before and after. That is just unbelievable. So please, rule number 1, check the seller and buy only sellers highlighted in green. Avoid dealers, not insurance, and public consignment. Golden rule number 2, you check documents. That's why we have documents at Cars for Beat highlighted in different colors. For example, you see this 2023 Honda CR-V and you see the title is green, salvage certificate. But when you see documents highlighted in red, like non-repairables, like certificate of destruction, like a bill of sale, meaning there's some problems and it's not registerable. That's why we have myth that salvage cars are impossible to register, because someone purchased the car with non-repairable vehicle certificate. Non-repairable, meaning this car is good for parts only. That's why it's impossible to register. But if it's a salvage certificate, if it's clean title, no problem at all. And unfortunately, I hear these cases quite often. Andre, I purchased a car, great car, got it at a great discount. I paid only 35% of its retail value. But you know, there is a problem. I went to DMV and they say it's impossible to register. And I'm like, what do you mean? Why? He says, you know, I have this title and it says non-repairable certificate. And I'm like, that's why my goal to make Cars for Beat #1 broker platform for salvage auto auction needs. We do a lot of work to make buying experience as easy as possible, highlighting the seller, highlighting the document type. So again, if it's green, it's good. If it's red, avoid at all cost. Golden Autohacker rule number 3. Before purchase, check location. Okay, don't buy first and then check location. You check location first. We have really handy calculator. All you have to do, input your zip code. That's it. And you get the price right away. You see, this car is gonna cost $2,000 to move. And it's good to know up front, not when you purchase the car. And here's a little geographical lesson for some people. Guys, don't laugh, but we deal with this on a weekly basis. Alaska and Hawaii, it's not part of continental United States. Alaska is far away. If you're from Seattle, fly there, it's 4 hours, like you pass Canada. And Hawaii, from Los Angeles, you fly 5 hours. All you see, Pacific Ocean. So if you buy the car at Hawaii and then we tell you it's going to cost $3,000 to ship it to your place, don't be surprised. If you find a car with facility that's highlighted in red, you see it says lot location requires custom calculation of delivery. So you even cannot calculate the price here. It says requires custom calculation. And people call us and they ask, what's wrong with the car? Guys, it's in Alaska. That's why it's impossible to calculate it. Golden Autohacker rule number 4. Damages. Concentrate only on good damages. If you experienced enough, you can start looking at front end damages. You can start looking at the rear damages, side damages. Only if you experience, only if you have great friends at body shop, then you can start looking into this car. But if you're new to salvage auto auctions, or you don't have much experience, or you're like myself, where I buy only handful cars at salvage auto auctions, it's still enough. You're still gonna find lots of cars with huge discount. So we concentrate on theft and vandalism, we concentrate on hail damage, we concentrate on repossession, and some partial and rejected repairs. You can find some amazing deals. And I already talked to you about theft, vandalism. Most of these cars absolutely great, comes with very minor damages, and they're just great. Lots of them have no keys. So you buy the car, you move it to the locksmith, you got the key, and it's good to go. Hail damage is my second favorite. You can get amazing deals, 50% off, and often clean title on hail damage cars, like this Honda Civic. The only thing, before you buy hail damage, find out if any panels on the car has aluminum. Like, for example, Tesla Model S has lots of aluminum parts, and when it has hail damage, it's impossible to do repairs. Hail damage fixed with paintless dent repair. It's a PDR. You have specific tools, and the guy comes and he works on every dent and he fixes it. I've seen fantastic results when the car was all covered in small dents, and then later, like day later, and $1,000 later, there is no damages. Hail damage, amazing. You can save ton of money, like on the Honda Civic. It's $23,000 retail, and we purchased at $12,000. The guy fixed PDR, and it was good to go. Few rules here: avoid hail damage like that. It's it's impossible to fix it with PDR. You need to replace the whole panel. And also, I suggest if it's a hail damage, buy cars usually 5-6 years old. Don't buy older than 10 years old. If it's 10 years old, there is a thing, the paint and clear coat is old, and when there is a dent and the car sits for a couple months at storage facility, it starts to crack. So when you work PDRs, clear coat cracks, and when it cracks, you need to repaint the panel. Repossession, also one of my favorites. It's going to be owned by some financial companies. Some great deals. The person who purchased the car, he financed it, failed to pay his loan, and then the repossession company takes the car. Usually it's a used car, and you need to treat this car as used. There are some possible issues, might be like this 2006 Mercedes. Okay, you need to expect it's a 15-year-old plus car, 82,000 miles. Okay, so there might be some issues. So buy it as a used car, but since you can buy it with great discounts, it still works wonders. Now let's talk about damages to avoid. I want you to avoid these cars if you are new to salvage auto auctions. Undercarriage. You see this car, 2011 Ford Flex, looks great, no damages, but it has undercarriage. Undercarriage meaning it can be a subframe issue, frame issue, engine issue, transmission issue. Unless you can inspect the car, avoid it at all costs. Flood damage, especially from the seller that not insurance company. If you cannot inspect it in person, if you cannot smell it, avoid it at all cost. And also please avoid cars with mechanical damages. It's pretty straightforward. This car needs a new engine, new transmission, or both, and it's very expensive to fix. Okay, that's all with golden auto hacker rules. Let's go to video number 4, and I'm gonna show you how to inspect car using just VIN number. If you're ready, let's do it.